Well, welcome, guys. Hey, how are you? If you registered, there's a name tag there for you, just so we can call, kind of like visit afterwards or whatever. We got a sponsor coming in for you guys later, bringing some food, which is nice. I already said hi to you guys on Zoom. Thanks for showing up here. We're excited to have Alex
I'm
in
excited.
here. Yes, it's gonna be awesome. So first, some people kind of wonder why we do this. Our little tag phrase is better agent experience. We just literally try and create a better agent experience for all agents. It doesn't matter what brokerage you're with or whatever. We do these every week. We have a different professional come in, somebody that has some value to share. We're starting to do more, I call it off campus now, who did I say it to earlier? Like neutral ground. Yeah, because I've found, and I got some feedback that some people may not like, want to come into our office, but we're pretty welcoming here and we got a good vibe, good energy, and we love it when you come in person. We just like to network with you. So anyway, that brings up another point. Some of you checked a box to receive notifications of future trainings. So for clarity, it's not all just future trainings with Alex. Some people don't know, hey, because it says, would you like to be notified of future trainings like this? So I'm gonna send out emails and texts every week, just letting you know what the title and the topic is. If you check that box, all you gotta do is reply back to the text stop, and it'll stop all communication if it's not what you really wanted. I don't want to be sending you stuff if you don't want it. Some people text me and say, hey, I would rather just have the email and not the text. I can do that on the background too, just so it doesn't bother you. So a lot of you did check that box. So just let me know if we need to adjust that at all. So we're talking social media today.
Yes.
And I'm going to hand you the clicker here in a second. That's really all I got to do to start. And there's your starting slide. So
Awesome.
here you are.
Thank you.
Stand over here. You can see yeah,
I'm like, you gotta move over.
perfect. Yeah, no, I'm moving. I'm moving. Okay, take it away.
Hey guys, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Alex, also known as Your Real Estate Girl on Instagram. Thank you guys for being on Zoom as well. This is exciting. I love teaching real estate on social media because it's how I do 90% of my business. And I have converted 6 figures from just Instagram alone, and I do it consecutively every year. It's gonna be my 3rd year hitting 6 figures just from Instagram. So I feel like I have some tips and tricks, and I'm happy to share because there's always so much to go around. So my class today is called content that converts, because that's kind of the point, right? You want to create content that's going to convert you guys leads. Okay, so my goal for you guys today is just basically to walk away from this training knowing and understanding how to leverage your reels to grow and reach an income on Instagram, no matter what industry you're in. So I know it is a lot of like real estate, because that's obviously what most of us do here, but really any business, you can turn it into 6-figure income. Okay, so this is basically me. Who am I? My name's Alex. And this just goes over kind of what I already said. I've made multiple 6 figures through the power of reels and reached thousands of people through social media. I'm a mom of 5, a wife, and a full-time realtor / coach. My kids keep me really busy, and real estate keeps me really busy. I think I work from time I wake up to the time I go to bed, which I'm sure most of you guys do. But just know, like, nothing can hold you back. If you're passionate and you've got this, you'll take off. So
what are their ages?
My oldest, she's almost 13. She'll be 13 in March. And then I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old boys. And then I told my husband, I was like, we should have one more to make it even. So we have 4, and it ended up being twins. So our last, yeah. And so we have 2 identical 4-year-olds. They're so fun, but seriously, so crazy. Yeah. And then they go to preschool Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so that's kind of where I use my time to really just like tune in on work and like what I'm doing. I try to be home like in the evenings, but with showings and stuff, it's a little difficult. But yeah, they are my why. So it's kind of why I keep going. And sorry, my voice is kind of shot today, but okay. So let's dive in. This is all about like the beginning. Honestly, my first reel really was awful. Like it was like we were saying, it's still posted. So you guys, if you want to one day just scroll all the way down and check it out, go for it. So the first time I posted a reel, my cues were off, the music didn't match, and what I was doing, it had zero strategy. When you guys post a reel, you want to make sure that you have intent, you have strategy, and you know what who your audience is. Back then, I didn't know really anything about a reel. I continued to make these reels and I didn't see any results for a really long time. And I wasn't gaining any traction until I really decided to put strategy behind what it was that I was doing. The first time I saw real tangible results of my reels was when I focused on who my audience was and made a reel inside the actual Instagram app. My first reel, I did make it on TikTok, and so it did have the TikTok watermark. It had, like I said, it's really embarrassing. I should have put it up here, but it has, I don't even know what I was doing. I was rolling like dollar bills up and putting them in my glasses. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what, just thinking, oh, maybe someone will think this is funny.
Alcohol involved?
No. Should have been, but no, so it's like, you gotta really like focus on like who your audience is, who you're trying to grab. If you're trying to grab real estate agents, because maybe you want to do some coaching, then make videos like that. I remember I was with my old brokerage and they always asked us, like, what's your big, like, what are you going to do today to get your next client, right? And I remember thinking, like, I told her I'm going to make a reel. And she told me in the little DM chat, like, let's chat after this meeting. And I was like, oh, shoot, okay. And she told me that I should probably do something better with my time today, like maybe go door knock or do something. This is when reels was very new. This is like when people didn't really do them, right? So I don't like to door knock. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna make my reel. So I made my reel, and 3 days later, I'm at a Jazz game and I get a text message from a guy and was like, hey, is this Alex? I want to sell my house. It's in Lehigh. And I was like, oh, okay, like kind of thinking it's a scam. Like there's no way someone's just gonna text me out of the blue. And I asked him, I said, how did you find me? And he said, through Instagram, I found one of your reels. So it was that reel that he found me. Also, I think it helped because I did make my reel inside the Instagram app instead of TikTok, because they want you to be on Instagram. Instagram wants you to utilize like what they're giving you guys. So just keep that in mind. If you guys do make your reels through TikTok or CapCut, because I do use those as well, just make sure you take out the watermark. But yeah, so that's when I realized that this is powerful, and I reached way more people than I would have door knocking, so. Okay, so how do we leverage Instagram to create content that converts more bookings for your business, more sales, and more bottom line? So number one is keeping your reels short. The content is called short video form for a reason. Most people have short attention span. Instagram will determine how many people they push your content out to based on how long you're able to hold viewers' attention. How much of your video people watch before scrolling along. Your video should be around like 6 to 9 seconds, but I always feel like the sweet spot is around like 7 seconds. I know it's like really fast. And I heard a statistic like the first 3 seconds is what's gonna like attention grab these people. Number two, make your reel entertaining and funny. So adding these two together is the goal. You don't have to be like a creative genius to do this. You guys probably scroll through Instagram all the time and see reels and get ideas and think, hey, that's funny. Well, you guys can also take that and create something for your own as well. Almost all popular audios can be applied to real estate in some kind of way. I always try to think of like, what did I do today that was like with real estate related? What were my clients asking me? Like, how can I make this a reel? And I learned that when I got a client from Instagram and he was using a different Instagram real estate agent, and we ended up finding a house. I asked him if he had signed anything with her. He said no. And I asked him who it was. I'm not going to name names, but he said the only reason why they didn't go with her was they found me off of her Instagram, and she was making videos based off of like my outfit of the day, get ready for me, my dating life, all this stuff, right? But she's a real estate agent. And he said, then I would go to your profile and it was all like, what's earnest money? What's the next step to buying a house? Like, how do I schedule appointments? Like all this stuff. It was more like value to him. And he's like, and then it was funny on top of it. So that's why we decided to use you, because you came across more of a professional, even though my reels are really stupid and embarrassing, but I'm still like giving that entertainment value with education. So I think that is like super important. So good lighting, you'll notice that most of my reels are done in my car. I drive a Tesla, and I think it helps because it has that like moonroof. If you guys don't have a Tesla, you can go outside, or like even an office like this where it's like white and just open and bright is key. You want to make sure you have good lighting. Most of my reels, yeah, I've done in my car. So bright light is your friend, and people are going to be attracted to videos that look natural and light, not dark or heavily filtered. Okay, number 4 kind of goes back to what I was saying, just adding value. Give good information, add value for your followers, and position yourself as the expert. Finding audio. I know a lot of people always have questions on like, well, what audio do I use? So you guys, if you go to your Explore page on Instagram and start scrolling, you're most likely going to see the same audio used a few times. And most of those that are being used over and over again can be applied to different niches, including real estate. Once you guys find an audio that you like, or you think that would go really good with what message you're trying to come across, then you just simply click on the audio and you can record your own video. Using the audio, you can also save it. Another trick too to find trending audio is there's always going to be like an arrow that points up. It's really small, but that means it's trending. People always have this thing where like always use trending audio. I say use whatever you want, even if it was trending last year, like just as long as you're creating good content and who you know your audience is for, then you guys should be fine. Hashtags may seem like a lost art, but using hashtags specific to your area is important, or specific to whatever your reel is about. Viewers may search for something using a hashtag, like hashtag your city, your county, and your state. The guy that did text me at the Jazz game, he said, I asked him later on, what's your Instagram? Because I would like to follow him. And he says, I don't have Instagram. I hashtag Lehigh Realtor and found you on Google. So whatever, when he hashtagged that, I popped up, and that's how he found me. So that was the day I was like, I'm never not using hashtags. Because it's kind of like a Google search, right? Like there's times where I've had people say, hey, Alex, I'm moving to Colorado. I need an agent. And I'll get on Instagram and I'll search a hashtag Colorado agent. Whatever one pops up, I'll start like doing my homework on them. That's how I found a few referrals. Using transitions. We knew basically, so transitions are when you stop a video and start it again with a new element, like a new outfit, a new location, change in the environment. That just adds excitement and a surprise to people that they're not expecting. It keeps people engaged. Sometimes you can make them really quick, and then people will have to re-watch your video, and that keeps the views up, your reels going. Adding words to your reels. Have you guys ever been like looking at reels in bed and you don't want to wake anyone up, so your sound's off? And if they don't have words, you just scroll past, like you don't even look. But if it has words, you might actually stop and like read it along with them. So adding words to your reels is a must to create interest and apply it to real estate. Removing watermarks, we already talked about that as well. If you're using an app outside of Instagram to edit or create your video, you need to remove the watermark, or the video is less likely to be pushed out by the Instagram algorithm. They like you guys to stay on their app. Can you see? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Okay, and then every time you guys post a reel, or even just a still carousel post, make sure that you are sharing it to your stories, because story views count as a reel view. So make sure you're sharing every single reel and post your story. You can add GIFs, you can add polls, and you're gonna wanna encourage people to click on it and read the caption. So, I mean, I have 14,600 followers, but you guys, you know, if you have 200, 1,000, 10,000, whatever it is, if you think about 200 people, a room of 200 people, like that is a lot of people. And those are your followers. Those are people who are trying to follow you. So treat those followers as your SOI. The goal for Instagram, it is a social media platform and you want to get a DM because that means you're creating a relationship and you're creating that one-on-one with somebody. So make sure you're adding these to your story. Like I add polls all the time and it keeps people engaged, or they think, oh wow, she's fun. Like I want to put my opinion in here, and you create a friendship. And that's how you in turn create a transaction with somebody. And that goes into number 11 is replying to your comments. It's called social media for a reason. Be social, communicate back with your audience and followers. Show the algorithm that your post is good and one people are interested in. Always respond back to people, make that connection and that relationship. So when somebody comments on your reel, your post, even if it's an emoji, try to comment back as fast as you can, because the quicker these comments come in, the quicker algorithm's gonna think like, this is a good one, we're gonna push it out. I know that we can't always be like on our Instagram and like seeing when comments come through. So even if it's later that night, just make sure you're responding. I always think like, if you were at a store and you saw somebody and you're like, oh, your shirt is so cute, like, would you just walk away? Like, no, you would be like, oh, thank you, you know, because if you walk away and don't say anything, people will be like, wow, like, that was really rude. But yeah, so it's the same with social media, like, especially if they see you replying, like, oh my gosh, like, she's actually a real person, she cares about my opinion, like, that was cool that she responded to me. So I say, like, obviously, real estate is a relationship building business, so just like any business, honestly, communication is key. Number 12, just be consistent. This one's hard, even for me, it's really hard to be consistent in posting, but the algorithm does want to see consistency and you get rewarded for it. Shoot for 2 to 3 reels a week, stories daily, and at least 1 post a week. You can see, I like don't want to come out of frame, but here are these like story bubbles. You want to make sure that you have at least 5 of them because that will go across your whole Instagram and it looks like your profile is more filled out. If I only had like 2 of those, then it might look like unfinished, or I don't know, it just doesn't look complete. So make sure that you have those up there. When I screenshotted that, but you do want a reviews bubble on there because Instagram is your business. It should be, at least. It's a huge part of real estate. And when people come to your page, they have basically 3 to 4 seconds to decide if they're going to follow you or not. A good bubble to have right there is reviews, so that if they are looking for a real estate agent, they can click it very easily, start scrolling through some reviews and be like, okay, like, I think she's a good one to follow, and then they'll follow you. And stories, I feel like, are super important. I feel like stories are more important than reels, honestly, and they're really easy to post. You can do like a quick boomerang, you can do like day in the life. I mean, from my page, you can't really tell that I have 5 kids and that I'm a wife, but in my stories, you will always see my life going on. And it doesn't have to be real estate related. That's where I come in as a human. I come in as a mom and I show you what I'm doing on the daily. Those stories do expire after 24 hours, and that's why I do my personal life on there. Whatever goes in these squares are going to be real estate related because it is my business page and I need it to look professional. But that's how people will see you. There's times where I get like 1,000 views on my stories. Some days I have 600 views, and then it can go down to like 100. But those are like being pushed out to people that are non-followers as well. And I think, this is just my opinion, I feel like Instagram is going to push stories out really hard this year compared to reels. So keep doing that. Any questions so far?
Where do you put the reviews?
You're gonna want it, so whatever you post in these bubbles has to eventually, or once shared on your story. So you want to post like your reviews on your story, and then you can create a bubble called reviews, and then you can add them there.
Okay.
So
That's a highlight.
yeah, highlight bubble.
High level.
Yes. So reviews are important. Make sure you have those filled out. Another thing too, I will touch on is when I do look for outside agents, I always go to their stories because I'm like, are they open? Essentially, I feel like, again, we are a business. You want to be open. And if you don't have a story posted, it looks like you're closed. I'm like, okay, is she not working today? Like, does she not, I don't know, is she on Instagram? I don't know. So then you go to her post and see like, when was the last time she posted? Was it a week ago? Was it a month ago? Like, how quick is she gonna be able to respond to me for my client, right? So if you have these bubbles open, that means your business is open. So keep posting these stories, people will reach out. But yeah, and then, okay. So there are 2.35 billion active users on the app. Who you need to nail down your audience and who you are posting the reel for. Ask yourself the question right now, who am I trying to convert? Again, that goes back to, are you converting agents? Are you trying to create a team? Are you wanting to start coaching real estate? So you're gonna want to target agents. You want agent attraction. Are you trying to do only sellers, only buyers? Like whatever you're posting, make sure you know who your audience is. If you guys start seeing things and you're like, I'm not converting any buyers, I'm not converting any sellers, go back to what you're posting and really look at it. Like, is it gonna target them? Is it gonna grab their attention? And then just a little side note, you guys could tune out everything I say in this class right now, except for this point, and you will see massive growth just with this. Just focus on who you guys are trying to speak to. Okay, and then this goes into like profile optimization. Again, you're gonna want your profile picture to be bright and clear. You don't want a faraway picture. They can't really see who you are. You know, a lot of people in one photo, you want it to be specifically you and your branded photo. Your bio with a headline filled out for proper searching, because Instagram is a search tool, just like Google is. So if you have like your name on there, like if it was Alex Pedroni, like I don't know how many people are gonna search Alex Pedroni, probably not a lot. So you wanna make sure, like, and I made this like you're a real estate girl a while ago, but like I know there's a lot of like Utah realtor, Utah real estate, moving to Utah, things like that, which is awesome because that's gonna be in a search and it will pop up. This right here, this is kind of the Google search. So if they type in, like, honestly, this Utah realtor should be right here. So that's gonna pop up first. And then you're gonna wanna have who you're helping in your bio description. Then you're gonna wanna have a link to take the next steps. I know people use like LinkedIn is really good because that's gonna have all your stuff. Mine is a stand store. So if you're coaching, if you click my stand store, you can sign up for one-on-one coaching. You can do really anything on there. I have like reels that you guys like, free reels guide and stuff like that. But basically that link is going to tell people what to do next, like what steps to take next. Highlight bubbles, we kind of touched on that, have at least 5, and then make sure you're a creator account for best visibility. That's key. It allows you to post a link into your story. So like when you say new listing, here's my link, click it. And then it's gonna let you use more music. And it also allows insights. So you'll probably see a lot of like Instagram people who pay for leads. Don't do it, because if you are a business, you wanna make sure you're having like real insights to your business, right? You like, wouldn't you wanna know like what times people are on, like, oh wow, that posted really good. If they're robots, then you have no idea. Like you're like, okay, well that doesn't make any sense. So make sure you don't pay for leads. Again, 200 followers is a lot of people. And then you have these insights where it helps you decide like, oh, this is a good day to post. This isn't a really good day to post. So having that creator account will help you do that. Business also does that as well, but it doesn't give you as much access as like a creator entrepreneur account.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It probably was a couple of years ago, but it seemed like when you switched your personal account to a creator account, it actually took away your ability to use more music. You had more selection when you were a personal account. Has that changed?
Yeah, it should have, because
Did anybody else experience that?
oh wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I've always done entrepreneur creator account, because when I first signed up on Instagram as real estate, I did the business, and then I was like, wait, it's not letting me do music. So then that's when I switched to creator.
Thought on that.
Yeah.
So you have the personal creator or the business, and you do the creator. Can you convert your Facebook to that?
Yeah, it can hook up to
And you can
Instagram.
share it across board. Does Facebook have to be a creator account as well?
No, but I do have it hooked up to like my business Facebook page. So there's also another thing that's like, you can make a reel and schedule it to go. So I can make a reel right now and have it scheduled to go out 5 a.m. the next day. But you can't schedule it out if you allow it, you know, like the toggle, it will say allow to share to Facebook. That toggle needs to be turned off or else it won't schedule it out. So that's kind of interesting, but yeah,
So you
so.
go back in.
Yeah, same if you're gonna boost a post. If you have the toggle on to allow to share to Facebook, it's not gonna let you boost either. You have to have that turned off. And right here where it says professional dashboard, that's where I can go in and see my insights. Again, your page is a reflection of your overall marketing in general. It is your business. If a potential client comes to your page and it's not aesthetically pleasing, why should they assume that you're able to put together beautiful marketing for their home? There are so many ways to do this. Again, I use Canva a lot. I've gone to Etsy and purchased templates for buyer's guide, seller's guide. I've even purchased templates for my post. And you just want to make it like as streamlined as possible. I know, have you guys ever heard of like coffee and contracts? Okay, a lot of agents use coffee and contracts, and I bet a lot of us follow real estate agents, so it looks like it's overused. But just know that your following most likely doesn't follow as many agents as you follow. So just keep posting. Don't think like, oh, this is over posted, because then your followers most likely aren't seeing what you're seeing. But coffee and contracts is a good one too, especially if you're stuck on like before ChatGPT was like huge. I would be like, what am I gonna say? I don't know what to say, but. Okay, conversion. So we kind of like talk about this, but you need to think about what message you're really sending out into the world. I created this a minute ago, but is this a reel that only agents will think is funny and be able to reach? If so, don't post it. Unless you're trying to attract agents. Don't post reels making fun of buyers or sellers in your target market. You don't want to get people nervous to work with you or be self-conscious of you judging them and making a reel about it. Remember, every reel you post should be helpful, educational, or entertaining, specifically for buyers and sellers, because that's kind of our goal. The message you are sending in your reels and posts should slowly be convincing your target audience to do something, like a DM, a share, a comment, or things like that. In real estate, I know that referrals are huge for us. So when somebody shares your content, that is like a social media referral. So make sure you're thanking them for sharing your content, because now you have your followers and now they're sharing your content to all their followers. So if they like you and they trust you and they value your opinion, they're like, wow, like who is this that they're sharing? And they usually click it, go to the profile. So make sure you're like just communicating. I mean, if you're on a team, whatever you guys have your team share your stuff. It pushes it out, again, thinking that the algorithm thinks it's important. And then, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be overnight that you're going to have somebody be like, oh, I want to sell my house right now. You know, it's going to be a slow convincing of the audience and making that relationship. So next thing you know, they'll be like, hey, can you sell my house? So yeah. All right. And then the next steps, I don't know if this is too fast, guys, so we'll do a Q&A as well. But the next steps is I do like to have you guys try my 30-day reel challenge. You'll watch your reach and your clientele grow on those business insights on your professional dashboard. You'll start to see like X amount of people start following you from your reel, and it's crazy how it just starts coming. It's not all about your following. It's not all about the likes and views and shares and whatever is considered viral. If you guys have reels that are getting like 200 views and then you post a reel and it gets 1,000, that's viral for you. So just keep that in mind. Try not to compete with other people that you see on social media, because I know it can like bring you down. Focus on you and your audience and like what it is that you're trying to do in your business. Share 3 to 5 times a day in your stories. I think that is like really, really important. Grab your freebie. If you go to my Instagram at Your Real Estate Girl, I have a real ideas for realtors that you can sign up, and it gives you about 30 days worth of it. So it does help with this 30-day reel challenge. I do one-on-one coaching that you can sign up for on my Instagram as well. We can do it over Zoom, coffee, lunch, whatever you guys want to do. And then I am gonna start doing mastermind courses too, and this is just, it's not just gonna be about reels, it will be about real estate, how I get my business, what's next steps when somebody comes through to your Instagram. But yeah, that's me. Follow me on social media. And do you guys have any questions? I'm gonna open the floor to you guys, so.
I have another question.
Yeah.
So I noticed, and it's kind of annoying, there's probably no easy way around this, but when you make your reel in Instagram and then you wanna like save it so that you can post it on TikTok too.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, we'll download this for you, but without any audio. And so if it
Yeah.
has you talking in it, it takes
It
out
takes
that
it out.
audio
Yeah.
too. So do you
It's
just
hard.
have to make two?
yeah. And honestly, you guys, like, I don't post on TikTok. If you go to my TikTok, it's actually really embarrassing. I don't really even post on Facebook. It just all comes from Instagram and then it like cross posts on my Facebook. So I don't know like a ton on TikTok, but I always say like, people are like, wow, like I want to really get in on Instagram, but I'm doing so good on Facebook. It's like, you can get on Instagram and start doing that, but just know whatever's working for you, like really focus on that. Like if Facebook is where you're getting most of your clientele, focus on that. If it's TikTok, focus on that, you know, and then just add a little bit into Instagram. But I don't dance, and so that's why I've never like got on TikTok.
I don't either.
Yeah,
So that
not
there
for me.
be on just one versus?
No, not necessarily, but I always say like people stress out and they're like, well, you're doing so good on Instagram, like I need to do that. And I'm like, but if you're doing good on Facebook, stay on Facebook. Cause like, there's times where I'm like, I need to get on TikTok, but I just stick to what I know. So try not to stress. There's a lot of platforms out there. So yeah, but yeah, the audio thing is annoying. And like Instagram too, like if I make a reel and then save it, I swear I like go back and add my words or my videos and then it's like gone or like won't pop up. So yeah, I totally feel that. And I always like try to post them right when I do them. I don't really save them in drafts anymore because of that, but
Yeah, because if you log out, then you lose all your drafts and.
yeah. Or if you delete the app, all your drafts go away too, so.
We have thought, well, a question on the
Yeah.
7 seconds for your reels.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really short.
it's really short.
Well, I've been trying to get better at all this.
Yeah,
And my reels, I can't ever seem to get them shorter than like 30 seconds.
yeah.
I can get like an 8-second clip of my dog running.
Well, yeah, how do you provide value in 7 seconds? That's
Yeah.
hard.
It's in the text, right?
Yeah, you can put it in the text, you can put in your caption. I don't know if people really read the captions, but you know what's funny is if you have a reel and it's like 6 seconds long and you have this like word, like long words, no one can read that in 6 seconds. So they're gonna hold it and they're gonna be on your reel reading it. So it's gonna create the views to go up. So even though it might be like, okay, what the heck, I can't get this message across, like get it in the text form and then people will hold it. Yeah, and then people will hold it and like try to read like, wait, what did he say? Or like keep replaying it or keep replaying so they could read it. So that's kind of a little tip there. And then
So based on your previous answer, do you not batch content?
I haven't in a really long time. I don't know if you guys have experienced this. I think Sabrina, I think you mentioned something like that before, where like the audio disappears if you batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you try to like post it and it's gone.
It's too frustrating.
Yeah. So that ever since that happened, I try to just make my own post it because it's really frustrating when you get it and you're like, I'll come back and edit it and then you can't. It's like, yeah, so it's just a learning curve. Instagram's changing every day, every minute. So yeah. But I think my biggest thing is just making sure you're creating relationships. That's how I do most of my business. I get DMs all the time in my Instagram, using hashtags. You'll notice that like I do reels with like a video tour of the home I'm selling. Those are longer than 7 seconds, but I do post those. And then I put it behind a trending audio. So because if I use my voice and do that, it's just gonna be, no one's gonna search that or use that audio. So you'll take like a really popular song and put that as
So you use
audio.
music and the walkthrough. That's
And then there's controls, there's toggles where you can put like control your audio and you can pull the music down to 1 and then pull your audio all the way up so that they hear you, but in the background, it's a trending audio. That's how you start getting more views. But.
You guys on Zoom, you can put something in the chat or just mute yourself.
Oh, go ahead.
So I recently switched over. What's your thoughts on the personal / business account? Because I recently switched my personal account to my business account.
Mhm.
So what are your thoughts on that? Should I create a separate one?
I
Or
did.
You
So
did
I
create
do have a
separate one?
personal one, as well, and I don't really post on it. If I do, it is either my kids or it's gonna be real estate related. But I think you have your followers on there and then now you have your business. So I say keep two, keep posting. You can also do a little trick. You can go into your personal and then when you post something on your business, go into your personal and then like it. Cause it's like, okay, even though it's one like, but it's still gonna like push that out. So utilize your personal account as like a different user. So, yeah.
How do you make it a creator account?
It's in your settings.
Okay.
I might have to show you. No, no. I think once you switch to creator, it does take like 24 hours to go back to switch fully to creator. But when we get lunch and stuff, I'll come show you how to do that.
Does a little check mark come with that or you gotta pay for that?
You gotta pay for that. And the reason why I do pay for my blue check mark is because I started getting like fake people, like fake accounts being me. And I was like, how do I, like, I don't know how to stop this. Like, I don't know what to do. And then when I paid for that, because they do verify your ID when you pay for it, I stopped getting fake accounts made by me, or not by me, but of me. Okay.
This wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, and so now it's like, and it's kind of funny because now when somebody DMs me, if they don't have a blue check, I'm like, are they real? Is this a fake account? Like, I don't know. So I do that just because I was getting a lot of like fake accounts out there. I had one actually like ask my followers for money and I was like, okay, that's when I decided like, we're not doing this because that is not me. So yeah, if you want the blue check, get the blue check.
We've got a
Okay.
few questions
Yeah.
on Zoom. The first one is what ratio of personal versus real estate content do you post?
So I keep all of my squares on my Instagram. Those are all gonna be business related. Anything that goes on those squares are pretty important for my business. And then on my stories, I do all day. I try not to go crazy with the stories, but at least like 5 stories a day and they will have my personal and my business in there. And that's when I create the polls, you know, asking people like, do your kids do this too? Or like, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy, or today was a long day or something like that, you know? So, I would say like 90% of my post on my squares are going to be business related. And then a lot, just a good mixture in my stories.
And then how do hashtags help and what kind of hashtags do you use?
Yes, hashtags help a lot. If you're posting a reel, they always say to just keep it really minimal, like keep it like 5 hashtags. Sometimes I go over, but if you're posting like a carousel post, you can technically post up to like 30 hashtags. I use them only because I did have a client reach out and he found me through the hashtag Lehigh Realtor. Whatever you're posting though, make sure that your reel matches that. So if you're posting a house for sale in Eagle Mountain, make sure you put houses for sale in Eagle Mountain or Utah real estate or something like that. Don't put like, I don't know, but just make it like relatable to the reel or your post.
So they're different on every reel. They don't
Mhm.
have like this.
Yeah, no, I don't, I do
Same.
it different every time. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
How do you vet people that message you to even see if they're real?
I kind of start, it's kind of easy, like if I get a person that's fake, if immediately when they ask me for a WhatsApp, I'm like, all right, you're fake, but, cause that's obviously, I feel like that's a scam. And if they have specific questions, like about the area, I've noticed that too, a lot of times when you put your location, like I'll start to get like, people like, hey, I'm interested in a house in Magna, and I'm like, are you though? I don't know if you are. So just be cautious, like who you're talking to, like you can go to their profile, like kind of see what's out there, but I mean, I feel like our job anyway is be cautious who you're meeting up with, use your safety, especially on Instagram. It's like I put my location all the time and it's like, and I don't know who's following me on Instagram, so I gotta be careful. So same thing goes for you. It's just like really just try to vet who they are. But a lot of people, it's just like a lead. If you talk to them on the phone, they'll come in and be like, hey, I'm moving here from California. I have a job interview next week. If I get the job, I'm gonna move out to this location. Here's my email. Can you set me up on a search, kind of thing like that? If they're giving you like real info, then I would treat it as a lead. If it's more like, I can only talk to you on the WhatsApp, do you have that? Or like, it's like, no, like you can talk to me here, like. And Instagram too, as a creator, will filter your messages, at least it does for mine. It will filter like hidden messages, and they're usually always scam, those messages are, so that helps.
Yeah. I found going to like their profile and looking at their posts, and if they're all posted within the last 2 months and
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh, a couple things, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's how you know, like, people pay for followers too. You're like, wow, all your followers are from like different country, and they don't post, or they post all within like 2 minutes of each other. Yeah, so there's just little cues you can look for. Oh, yeah,
How many weirdos have you run into, like actually meeting in person?
a lot, yeah.
And so, do you pack heat or?
No, people like tell me all the time, like my dad actually just got me pepper spray with like the GPS on it. So I like have that. Yeah, I've been to like the safety classes where they give you like the little like brass knuckles and they're like the kitty cat ears. I don't know if you've seen that. But like me and Sabrina have a guy, and I'm sure there's other agents out there, but he's a local guy here in Draper. He'll come into your DM and he'll say, I need to sell my house. It's a beautiful home, probably a couple mil.
Everybody's.
Yeah, couple mil, make you sound like, okay, yeah, I can sell this. He wants to buy a house. He owns a few businesses out here. He's very well known. I talked to her, and then we went down the line and figured out that he's in a lot of really pretty girls' DMs that do real estate. He targets them. And not too long ago, I was actually meeting up with the lady because again, I do post like where I'm going. I was in the Draper Starbucks meeting up with the lady for advertising, and he walks in. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like I've never met him before, and he knows my location, and he like gave me the look, and he sat like right behind us.
Did he approach you?
No,
You just reckoned.
yeah,
Oh.
but he knew where I was, and he saw my story, and I was like, all right, this guy. Anyway, so yeah, there are creepy
I like how
guys.
you said that you share. stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we share a stalker. A lot of girls probably share them. So just be aware if someone's like, hey, can you sell my house in Draper? And it's like, yeah. And it's beautiful. And he's married and has 5 kids. It's like, he seems like a normal guy, but yeah. Yeah. I think that's the hobby. It's a hobby. So yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of weirdos. I do get hate on the comments. I remember like on my reels, I would like, cause I am a nice person and I don't like mean people, and my feelings get hurt easily. And when I get mean comments, I'd go through, and I remember one day I was like, delete, delete, delete. Cause I have one, I talked about rates, and rates were really high, and that caused, oh my gosh, people were so mad that I was like the worst person. And I was deleting them. My husband's like, don't delete them, like keep them, like talk to them, like maybe like, cause you can turn those hate comments into like value, because you can be like, if someone's like dogging on you or real estate's garbage or whatever, then you can like reply to it and turn it into a reel. And that way you're providing like, actually, this is the facts. And then you say it and people are like, oh wow, like she actually like knows her crap, because now she's like doing it as a reel, and then the comments right there. So keep those hater comments. I actually have a guy who hated on my stuff all the time. And he, not necessarily, it was like more like condescending. Like he would say things and I'm like, who the heck is this guy? He's so annoying, like kind of making fun of me. And I ended up selling him a house. So I was like, yeah. So it ends up being like, I just try to be nice and whatever, but like just respond to them, try not to delete them. So that's another thing. If you guys start deleting your comments, the algorithm will notice that and it will stop pushing it out. So if you get those comments, yeah, keep them. The haters are good.
So this is kind of general, but do you mind if I share your slide deck with everybody that registered?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
I know you have a lot of steps in there and stuff.
I know, there's a lot of steps. Yeah, so anyone is free to use it, reach out. But yeah. Any other questions?
There's one more on Zoom. How long were you consistent on Instagram before you would say you saw a difference?
I would say it was about I would say like 4 to 5 months. Because that was before when Instagram wasn't popular as much as it is now. Reels weren't really a thing. It's when they first came out. And once I did that first reel in my Instagram, that's when I started being pretty dang consistent because I was like, all right, this is working. So let's keep this up. So just try to be consistent. I know it's hard. I struggle with it all the time. So we're all human. Like,
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
scan the QR code.
Yeah, yeah, reach out. So thanks, guys. That was awesome. So I appreciate that. Okay, we're gonna switch gears really quick. Brian's here. He brought us some food so we can hang out here in person lately. Brian, thanks for coming in, man.
You're welcome.
Silverback Home Warranty. My guy, Josh Cavalier, moved on to
Yeah,
bigger and better things.
started his own company,
Yeah.
restoration company, and he's
So Brian's already been in here before. He's here to tell you what he can do for you with Silverback.
awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I got some contact info for you too, so.
Awesome. Happy to be here today, bringing some lunch for everybody. One thing at Silverback, I just want to talk really quick. We love educating agents on home warranties. We want to make sure that the experience that you have with Silverback is a fantastic one, but not only you, but your clients. And so what we like to talk about is how do you talk about a home warranty in a way that's going to make sure that it's a really good experience for everyone involved. And there's a couple of things that we like to look at. Number one is what a home warranty is and what it isn't. So a home warranty is different than homeowner's insurance, right? And most of you probably know that, but what a home warranty is, it's there to fix and repair things that break in the home. And for the most part, those things are going to be covered 100%. So if a refrigerator breaks, a water heater, HVAC, plumbing leaks, toilets, those things are going to be covered, and generally fixes are going to be covered 100%. When people talk about out-of-pocket costs sometimes, it's generally when there might be a replacement of a full HVAC unit, furnace, air conditioner. Sometimes there might be some out-of-pocket expenses at that time, but we just like to make sure that everybody is looking at a home warranty the right way, that we are there to help them have a great experience in their home. We want them to utilize the home warranty. We want them to call us. If we don't have, if they call us and it's a homeowner's insurance type of a repair that needs to be done, we're going to help them walk through that process and give them information. If it's a restoration company that they need to get in contact with, if there's a flood, we have great referrals to send to them. And then when it's on us to get the repair done, we're going to be on it ASAP. We want people to call us because we like them to renew year after year. And we know that the only way that they renew is if they actually utilize the home warranty. So if you haven't seen these are our free service call coupons. Their first service call is on us. We also do our welcome phone call. So within about 2 weeks of them moving into their new home, we have our team that reaches out, talks to them about who we are, what their policy is, what it covers, what it doesn't, how to file a claim, just making sure that communication is there. We do a AC tune-up in the spring, a furnace tune-up in the fall. So all of those things are things that hopefully you're talking with your clients about. We'll send reminders to agents that's a touch point that you can have with clients throughout the year, just reminding them to get those things done. And it's just a service call fee. Our service call fee is only $60. And so we just added outdoor sprinkler system coverage to our $600 King Kong plan. We have over 20 different add-ons to make sure that your clients are covered with everything that they want covered in their home. So just excited to be here, excited to work with y'all. If you have questions, I have my business cards over there. Reach out to me. I'm happy to talk with your clients. I know you put a lot of trust in us with your clients, and I want to be there for you and them. I'll answer phone calls on weekends, nights, whenever it is. So
Super cool. Thank you.
yeah, awesome. Thank you.
So this is actually pretty a big deal to have this. This is a good touch for you guys to use to send out to your clients
Absolutely.
and tell them about this. But also the fact that you call them, because have any of you also experienced where you've had a client that forgot they had a home warranty? And you're talking to them, they're complaining about their AC or something like that, and they're like, they don't even remember, right? So that
Happens
call,
more often than you think.
it does. It's happened several times to us. So this is a good touch. And then also that phone call is awesome and everything. So just before we wrap up, we got some cool trainings coming up. Kaylee's gonna be talking to us about house hacking next time. Some of these trainings too, guys, are good for your clients. It's not just for real estate agents and stuff like that. Anybody that you know that would be interested in this, you know, your clients, you want them to invest in real estate, stuff like that. So Kaylee's, she does a lot of fix and flip, and so she's gonna be talking about house hacking. And we've got a coach that's talk about negotiation. This one here is gonna be down at Tax Hive in Orem, a little bit bigger venue, yeah. Another panel discussion, where we're gonna talk about current market conditions and market forecasts. So we've got a lender and a couple of amazing agents on there to talk about that. And so we have that registration page there too. And I think that's it, right? Okay, the end. Oh, Eric.
I just wanted to say that I talked to Brian about 8:30 this morning.
Yeah, nice.
So, we've used Silverback for a few years now, Michelle and I, and they've been awesome for our clients. We have their King Kong warranty as well. About 6 months ago, our dishwasher went out, and it was a motor, and so we had a $60,
Nice.
service fee, and fixed it all up. And so instead of replacing the expensive appliance, it's been working great ever since.
And that's on your home.
Great. That's on my home.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
this morning, take our kids to school, the garage door was not open. We couldn't get the car out. So, part of the reason I'm late today. But,
Happy to see you here.
Yeah, awesome.
But I called Brian, and Michelle reminded me that home warranty, and right when I was about to call him, repair it, so what else? Oh, yeah, well, call Brian.
See, they forget.
Right, I,
Right.
I just sometimes think, well, that probably would be. But there's actually garage repair.
There sure is.
At our house right now.
Yeah.
With Michelle fixing it, so
Great.
I'll let you know how that goes.
No, that was a good comment. It's like, don't make the assumption it's
Yeah.
not covered, right?
Call us.
And don't call the 800 number. You call Brian.
Call me.
Yeah, call the rep directly, let him work through all that kind of stuff. So you guys on Zoom, love you. Thank you for staying to the end. I'm gonna cut you guys loose, but we're gonna stick around here and network some more.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
real quick before anybody gets up. Can I get a selfie with everybody in the background?
You guys need to post to your socials.
You guys have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
No.
Is everybody in there?
You need a selfie stick.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. Missing like everybody in that corner.
It's okay.
Awesome.
So
Thank you.
seeing Ian's Instagram, he posts one of those every week. That's one of his trainings.
Yeah.
A selfie with the group, so. Yeah.
Okay, can I get one as well?
Yeah,
Look
absolutely.
at that.
Yeah.
I'll try to get everybody.
Form a line. No.
It's a great looking.
Oh,
person.
sorry.
That's some people, right?
Okay, yeah, you can take selfies with Alex.
Take
later.
pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta tag me.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. See who gets the most likes. right?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
competition.
Okay, see you guys on Zoom. Talk to you later. That's it.
Awesome. Got a question.
Yeah.
for you. So